Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have some big news, especially for Australian boxing, especially for our superstar Cherneka Johnson. Now, this comes with two actual pieces of news relating to this event. Now, this is all to do with the Jake Paul versus Tank Davis card. Look, lots of people have differing opinions on the main event, but for me, it really goes for the undercard. That's where my focus is. I think it's amazing what Jake Paul does, especially giving these women these opportunities. Starring on big cards, Alicia Baumgartner is going to be on it, fighting men's rules, which we haven't seen before. And now Cherneka Johnson will be fighting Amanda Gale for an undisputed bantamweight championship. Now, the first bit of news that came out was this. Ellie Scottney's historic undisputed world title with Mayeli Flores has been postponed after the British boxer sustained an injury in training. That fight cancelled. Step in Cherneka Johnson versus Amanda Gale. Another late notice fight. Cherneka Johnson actually stepped in late notice against Sharetta Metcalf to become undisputed in the first place back in July. So Cherneka Johnson always in shape. Amanda Gale, somebody that just fought last month, she'll be ready to fight again. So another good fight added to the card. We'll talk about the fight, talk about the fighters. If you don't know each individual fighter, we're going to talk about that. We'll start with Amanda Gale, now Canadian, 36 years of age, 12 wins, 1 knockout, 0 losses and 1 draw. She's current IBO World Bantamweight Champion. That one blemish on her record came back in July of 2022. Her last fight, like I said, was last month. She fought on the MVP Prospects 15 card. That was on the 27th of September, beating Alondra Hernandez by unanimous decision. And like I said, she's going to step back up very soon. It's October 14th now, so yeah, exactly a month till November 14th date. Cherneka Johnson, like I said, undisputed bantamweight champion. She became that in July, beating Sharetta Metcalf by round 9 TKO. Dominated her. Even on the card, she was well ahead. By the 9th round, Sharetta Metcalf just couldn't hack it anymore, and Cherneka Johnson gets the finish. The referee stepping in. Cherneka Johnson, someone that's had a few highs, a few lows in her career. She's been boxing, especially within Australia, for a lot of years. Her 2 losses came, one was back in 2021 when she lost to Shannon O'Connell. That was quite early on in Cherneka Johnson's career, and Shannon O'Connell, she's a veteran of Australian boxing. Her other loss came against Ellie Scottney in June of 2023 by unanimous decision. Ellie Scottney, the current undefeated 11-0 undisputed super bantamweight champion. She's phenomenal as well, so I don't think there's no negatives in losing either of those fights. Shannon O'Connell losing by split decision and losing to the current super bantamweight undisputed champion by unanimous decision. Since then, Cherneka Johnson's been on a roll, and like I said, her last win was against Sharetta Metcalf. Cherneka Johnson, now 30 years of age, 18 wins, 8 knockouts, 2 losses, neither coming by way of knockout, and 0 draws. In terms of predictions for this fight, we'll get into it when it gets closer. I'll break down the fight when it gets closer. Although it is only a month away, during fight week we'll talk about it more. I'll give my prediction, I'll say who wins, and that'll be for the whole card, so we'll get into it now. But I'm so happy to see Cherneka Johnson getting her opportunity very soon now to defend her belt for the first time. And Amanda Gale, 2 weeks ago she was fighting on the undercard of a Prospects card, and she's now got the opportunity of a lifetime to become undisputed bantamweight champion of the world. So amazing for both women. Next bit of news that has come out today. The WBA have ordered welterweight champion Rolly Romero to begin negotiating with his mandatory challenger. Shakram Giyasov is his mandatory. Now, they have until November 13th to negotiate a deal before a purse bid. Big. I said that I thought it was going to be Manny Pacquiao. I was almost, I would have put my house on it being Manny Pacquiao. That's how confident I was of that fight being made. And I think without a WBA mandatory, that fight would have been made. But the WBA have come in and said, I don't really care what plans you have to make big money. Manny Pacquiao does not deserve the shot. And I back it. I think it's amazing. I think it's a great decision. You look at the WBC and say, why did Manny Pacquiao get that opportunity? Many people are saying right now, why is Keith Thurman getting that opportunity? And the WBA have come in like the governing body should, and say, no, buddy, there's people here that have earned that spot for a title fight, and Giyasov is that guy. If you don't know, Shakram Giyasov, Uzbekistan fighter, 17 wins, 10 knockouts, 0 losses, 0 draws, Olympic silver medalist back in 2016 in Rio. Mate, he's a tough task for Rolly Romero, and an unbelievably skilled boxer. And for me, early doors pushes me to say, I think Rolly Romero is going to lose his belt on that night. I do think whenever that date is set, that I think Rolly Romero will come up stuck. I think I never sort of looked at Rolly Romero and thought of him as an exceptional boxer. You know, I even looked at that Manny Pacquiao fight and I thought, yeah, you can probably hurt him because of your power, but I don't see a world in which you outbox Manny Pacquiao. And you look at his career, Rolly Romero's, and I never look at any of his opponents and say, wow, that's a really, really talented boxer that you've outfought, you've outboxed. And you see sometimes, you know, he gets the win against Ryan Garcia, but I don't rate Ryan Garcia as a great win, especially with some of the shenanigans that goes on with Ryan Garcia. And then you look at his losses, say to Pitbull Cruz, and he got dominated and stopped in that fight. So there's highs and lows for Rolly Romero. I do think Rolly looks better at welterweight. He's back massive, broader, more muscular. But when you've got a very talented, good footwork, good boxing IQ, Uzbekistani fighter across from you, if you can't land those big shots, then you're gonna get outclassed and you're gonna get outboxed and outboxed badly. And I feel early doors that's what's gonna happen. Like with Cherneka Johnson versus Amanda Gale, we are gonna do a deep dive on Fight Week whenever that gets made and talk about it more. But early doors is pushing me to say Giyasov's gonna become the WBA champion. And look, Rolly Romero is going to be pissed off about this decision from the WBA. Look, would it surprise me at all if Rolly Romero vacated? No. If he had plans to fight Manny Pacquiao and there was a substantial amount of money being offered there, and Rolly Romero looks at this challenge and says, you know what, I think I might just go the money fight, it wouldn't surprise me. Do I think he'll do that? No, I think Rolly Romero will fight Giyasov. You just got to back it. You got the belt. You've got to back it now. 6 months ago, 7 months ago, I thought it was going to be almost destined that we'd see Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia 2, even if nobody wanted it, even if we all thought, yeah, nah, it's not the right fight. The first one was shit. The second one's going to be the same. I thought that was the fight that we were going to see. Then I thought it was, yeah, it's going to be Manny Pacquiao because the money would be exceptional and they both wanted the fight. But the WBA have come in clutch here and given us a fight that I think is, especially for a boxing fan, a hardcore boxing fan who appreciates good boxing, this is the one. If you're a casual fan, if you just want entertainment, then Rolly Romero versus Manny Pacquiao was definitely the pick of the bunch. But Rolly Romero versus Shakram in negotiations. When do I think this will happen? I hope it happens soon. I mean, we haven't seen Rolly since May. And it's not as though he's been injured or anything else that's really prevented him from fighting. We just haven't seen him. So I hope it happens probably January. I'd expect January. It might even end up on the Manny Pacquiao card in January in New York. So we'll have to wait and see. But that is the news for today. Cherneka Johnson taking on Amanda Gale. Rolly Romero has been forced to face Shakram Giyasov. Negotiations pending. Alright guys, like, subscribe, and I'm out of here. See yous!